trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News Midday.
Developing now, a parasite that can cause serious issues for livestock is now in the U.S. Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Andrew Ward. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins confirming a case of New World screwworm is in South Texas. This is the only first case found so far, but it's something that could be devastating for farmers if it's not dealt with. So officials are keeping a close eye on the pest. This is something Nebraska is also closely watching since the cattle industry is our single largest sector for our state's agricultural economy, bringing in more than $10 billion a year. However, Rollins says this shouldn't impact our food supply in the short term.
This pest does not cause any sort of a food safety issue. It is not a disease, but simply an insect that feeds on living tissues. Animals treated early enough will recover and are safe to enter the food supply system.
Since cattle are much bigger and much slower to reproduce, it takes many years to fix the problem.
Concern, though, is the beef industry, which is already struggling. Beef prices are up 13% in the last year. One factor is fewer cattle. The U.S. cattle herd is at a 75-year low because of extreme weather, high feed costs, and industry consolidation. Governor Pillen also closely monitoring the situation. He is applauding Secretary Rollins in this Facebook post overnight. He writes, quotes, Nebraska ranchers and feeders can be confident we are in constant touch with our federal partners to take the necessary steps to keep our cattle herds secure and our food supply safe. We are keeping track of this situation as well, and we'll share any new information on air and on our Now Local News app. Breaking now, a former Trump official is expected to make a major move today. John Bolton is expected to plead guilty over the mishandling of classified documents. He's the former national security advisor for President Trump. Multiple sources telling ABC News the move is expected to come today. Bolton and the Department of Justice have not been reached for a comment at this time. We are following this story on our Now Local News app, and we'll let you know the exact plea deal that has been reached when it is announced. Now to a severe weather alert this morning as a serious chance for severe storms faces our area today. Right now, though, it's all calm in our Allen Communications camera, though very gloomy and cloudy skies out there right now. You kind of feel the mugginess in the air. We got mid-70s for the temperature. Let's get to meteorologist Houston Hall. He's got an updated forecast here for us. Good morning, Houston.
All righty, good morning. Yes, we are starting to see some warmth and really a cloudy day. Beatrice just had a decent thunderstorm roll on through. And we are going to have a chance here in Lincoln for a few rain showers, maybe even a rumble of thunder. Right now, let me show you. Look at that. Beatrice just had a good thunderstorm move on through. No severe weather has been associated with that. But you can see near Crete, all of that sort of light to moderate rain moving towards Lincoln right now. We'll check one of our cameras here and a few. That should look a lot different for my main weather hit. All right, we got some more thunderstorm activity just near Concordia, Kansas. That will all continue to make its way towards the northeast with that severe weather threat starting to peak as we go into about 2 p.m. You can see a few more isolated thunderstorms in our southern counties. All right, Lincoln, I think our best chance to see some decent thunderstorm activity will come around 3 to 4 p.m., even areas near Beatrice and west and east of Beatrice. So if you're from Alliance, Columbus down towards the south and east, expect some thunderstorms, strong to severe side, as early as 3 to 4 p.m. Lincoln, most likely still going to be seeing that. There's an isolated tornado threat, though, as we go into 6 to 8 p.m. for southeast Nebraska. 60s and 70s, you can tell where the rain is. The moisture, it is always going to be out there. Winds are relatively light. Precipitation chances here in Lincoln, you can see it, they start to peak here in the next hour and then really start to peak just after about 3 to 4 p.m. We do have more severe weather tomorrow, and I'll show you that forecast in a few.
Very much, Houston. Big dark clouds sitting over the capital city since last night. Sure, looks like a storm is brewing here. This is video from citizen journalist Thomas. When the storms do roll in near you, we want to see it once you are in a safe place. Take a video and share it with us, just like Dennis and Leroy did during last severe weather outbreak. All you need to do right now is download the Now Local News app so you can be prepared. Breaking now, one person is dead following a shooting at a high school graduation in Northern California. Police say the police there say the deceased victim is 18 years old. 3 others injured when gunfire erupted outside of Fairfield High. A massive police response at the school parking lot as officers rushed to the rescue. Those shot and tried to find the shooter. Police releasing the audio of the chilling and 911 dispatch call leading to their intervention.
I have 2 victims. One has a TSW to the head, obvious 255. Second one is an XJ with a gunshot wound to the chest.
Yeah, police say there were hundreds of people attending the graduation. Right now, it is unclear whether the teenager killed was a graduating student or a guest. Among the 3 injured victims, an 11-year-old. Police not yet revealing any information about the suspect. The investigation is underway. Now to the war in Iran, Congress delivering a rare rebuke of the president. This coming as President Trump tries to strike a deal to extend the ceasefire and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The war seeing new escalation as the U.S. and Iran exchange fire. In a recent one, Iran striking the Kuwait International Airport, leading to this heavy damage here next to me. ABC's Olivia Rubin reports on the latest developments.
Today, President Trump firing back as Congress delivers a rare rebuke. House lawmakers passing a resolution to stop his actions in Iran without congressional approval.
On this vote, the yeas are 215 and the nays are 208. The concurrent resolution is adopted.
The move is largely symbolic, and Trump calling it, quote, meaningless. And to the 4 Republicans who voted alongside Democrats, he called them unpatriotic. It now moves to the Senate. It comes as the president is trying to negotiate a deal with Iran, saying it could be imminent, though he said that before.
Could happen. I mean, if it happens, and it might not happen, who knows? But if it happens, it could happen like over the weekend.
In a sign of potential progress, Israel and Lebanon agreeing Wednesday to a ceasefire. But it's a deal that doesn't involve Hezbollah. They have called it a farce and say they don't agree with any deal. The 2 sides trading strikes overnight. These videos showing the aftermath of Israeli strikes reported by Lebanon's national news agency. Smoke billowing into the sky. The U.S. and Iran trading fire too. New CCTV video showing the stunning moment of Iran's strike at an international airport in Kuwait Wednesday. A huge fireball erupting as the drone struck the roof of the building. Officials there saying 1 person was killed, dozens more injured. And overnight, Iranian state media reading what's purported to be a new written statement from Iran's new supreme leader, claiming the U.S. and Israel have sustained, quote, heavy blows, but he still hasn't been seen since his father was killed in early strikes of the war, and he was reportedly injured. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, Washington.
Despite the growing unrest, the stock market is booming this morning. Take a look at the Wall Street right now. This is the Dow Jones up 850 points right now. No word yet on the cause of the rise. Right now, the college sports bill is picking up steam in Washington. SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey and Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti expected to meet with Ted Cruz of Texas today to discuss different ways this new Senate bill could bolster or hinder college athletics. The bill receiving wide support during a hearing on Wednesday. However, the Big Ten and SEC are opposing it for now, hoping for a clearer path forward today. Now, Senator Deb Fischer of Nebraska in that hearing on Wednesday showing her support for the bill while also taking a jab at former Alabama coach Nick Saban.
If I could have just one follow-up question when you talk about historic matchups, could you explain to us your lack of wins against Coach Osborne's Cornhuskers?
I will tell you a story about Coach Osborne. You know,
he's the best, isn't he?
He's the best. Yeah. My first game at Michigan State, my first game as a head coach, we played Nebraska when they were winning national championships, and he was the coach. This was 1995. And we got beat like 56-7. And he put his arm around me after the game, and he said, "You're not as bad as you think." And we actually went 6-5, so he was right.
Thank you, sir, very much.
A fun moment there, but a serious issue for hundreds of college athletes here in Nebraska. We are letting you know every development on our Now Local News app. Right now, there's no timeline for when this could be voted on in the Senate. We'll let you know when that date is set. New developments now on the ongoing change-ups for EMS response in public versus private ownership in Aurora. Aurora Professional Firefighters Union is pushing against the privatization of first responders in the area. They say that by making EMS private, it will make staffing wages and protocols profit-driven instead of safety-driven. Aurora City Council is now considering 2 proposals from the local union and then another from private EMS bidder. Their next meeting is on Tuesday. We'll keep you updated on what they decide on air in our Now Local News app. Nebraska State Patrol introducing their newest set of admirals, the men behind the capture of California man who had over 500 pounds of cocaine in his car. It isn't just Admiral Brown and Admiral Nolte, but also K-9 Unit Gable assisting in this investigation. This may also be the first time that the Nebraska State Patrol has had an Admiral K-9 in their midst. Well, coming up, work is paying off in Lincoln. See where our city is now ranked on a list of places offering great family life. Lincoln is rising in the ranks of family living. The capital city and Omaha are in a new poll from a Storage Cafe that looks at affordability, childcare, healthcare, education, family livability, and other requirements. Now, unfortunately, Lincoln is 10th place. Pretty good, but the biggest city in Nebraska is marked at 7th. That's Omaha. Lincoln rounds out the list with its low unemployment percentage and their average child care costs. Commuting around town averages just shy of 20 minutes, so that gives parents a head start on family time. Well, young Americans are turning to AI for mental health advice, despite warnings. And one country wants to see a GLP-1 drug that can help its economy. Here's Shane Kane with today's Wellness Report.
Could weight loss drugs get more people to work? Denmark wants to find out, and they're doing a study on it. Authorities there believe the medicines can deliver economic benefits, get people back to work, and boost productivity. Samsung Electronics announced a major update to the Samsung Health app, transforming the upcoming Galaxy Watch into a proactive, intelligent health partner. Starting June 8th, Samsung will begin rolling out the app update to showcase the key health features included in the upcoming Galaxy Watch. The update makes daily health management effortless by translating complex biometric data from overnight sleep to daily activity into simple, actionable guidance. And more young people are turning to AI chatbots for mental health advice. Nearly 1 in 5 adolescents and young adults report using ChatGPT, Midday AI, Character AI, or another chatbot for mental health when they were feeling stressed or angry or sad. It's an estimated 8 million individuals. And that's according to a report in JAMA Pediatrics. From the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Here's to your health.
We're starting to see some showers and thunderstorms roll on into southeast Nebraska, Lincoln. Also, you're going to get some rain here in the next few minutes, and then that's going to increase in coverage going past 2 p.m. I'll show you all what to expect in a few.
Iowa State Patrol is investigating after the devastating incident left one person dead and another seriously injured Wednesday. Reed Binion reports.
It's just incredible. You come over the top of the hill to see that. It's incredible.
Authorities in Iowa responding to a massive deadly train derailment Wednesday.
Around 12:37, a call came in of a crash here on Highway 21. We're just north of Old Highway 6.
According to police, the train derailed after colliding with a semi-truck.
Came through the train intersection and was struck by a train.
The driver of the semi was killed and a passenger was severely injured.
There was one fatality from the semi, and then another occupant of the semi was flown to hospital.
Authorities said numerous rail cars derailed.
rough count, derailment was in the low 20s.
However, there was no initial indication of any hazmat concerns.
Thankfully, there was no hazardous materials involved with this, which is a huge thing for us, especially with the trains. You know, we never know what they're hauling.
Officials said none of the individuals on the train sustained anything past minor injuries. The sheriff said the highway would remain closed for at least a couple of days, and that getting the railroad tracks back in service is going to be a huge job.
The railroad tracks are really messed up. It's going to take some time to get this fixed.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Now, for your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
Well, we got some rain out there just now moving through Lincoln, and that's just a nice gloomy, I guess if you're on lunch break, a nice gloomy lunch break. And here's a look. We got one thunderstorm, which is currently just a little northeast of Beatrice. There's our rain currently moving through Lincoln. No lightning has been associated with that. Watching these little storms out here towards Concordia right now. That's all going to be moving towards the northeast. And then we're going to start to see some stronger, maybe even some severe storms as we go past about 2-3 p.m. There's that thunderstorm just went through Beatrice, is headed towards the northeast. It's going to be moving east of Lincoln. Meanwhile, we'll just see a little bit of light to moderate rainfall. Let's take a look at the instability, the storm fuel. You can see, all right, there's that thunderstorm. Notice it's in that blue. That's going to be that higher instability. So that's where you get that thunderstorm. Meanwhile, we're having some rain. Not much instability yet, that is. But notice southeast Nebraska has most of the instability right now. That will play a factor into severe weather this afternoon. Still tracking that little isolated tornado threat as we're going to have a line of storms move on through. And then still watching this area about 4 to 9 p.m. It looks like could see a tornado peak around 6 to 7, 8 p.m. across Beatrice all towards Falls City. Well, this model is doing all right with these storms and showers. Yesterday, they did absolutely horrible. That's for sure. All right, here's a look at 1 to 2 p.m. Still going to have a few isolated thunderstorms near Lincoln, up towards Omaha. But now there's that Concordia storms that I was talking about. It's going to move its way in just south of Hastings, Fairbury, and Hebron. Now that could have a little bit of quarter-size hail, some gusty winds. Things will start to pick on up here, 2 to 3 p.m. A few more thunderstorms off east of Lincoln. Got to watch these storms just ahead of the line of storms, damaging winds and some hail right there. 3 to 4, I think this is going to be our best chance here in Lincoln to start to get some strong, maybe even some severe storms as we go into 3:30 and 4:30. As you can see, lots of pink out here. That's all hail, damaging winds. Even here in Lincoln, some heavy rainfall. Your tornado potential will start to peak right about here, 5 to 6 p.m. Notice this line of showers and thunderstorms, especially our southern counties here. Got to keep an eye out for a little bit of brief rotation. You can see right there, Falls City right there, and Pawnee City and Tecumseh do have a good chance for a potential isolated tornado as we go into about 6 to 8 p.m. All right, just going now through your Friday. You just saw it's going to be mostly sunny and it's going to be dry. This is 6 to 7 p.m. on Friday. Nothing is popping. But this model, I'm going to go through another model. This model here has some storms developing just near Columbus, and they're actually going to look to stay just east of Columbus, more on the Omaha metro side of things. Meanwhile, we're going to be staying dry. So let's take a look at the NAM. All right, here's right now, moves through. Got some storms out there, 2 to 3 p.m. A line of storms moves through about 6 to 8 p.m. There's your wind and there's your tornado threat. How about Friday? What's it showing for Friday? Sunshine starts to peak as we go into about lunchtime. And then there we go. Out towards the Tri-Cities, a few isolated storms will grow quickly, strong to severe. And then they'll start to move towards the east along I-80 about maybe 7, 8 p.m. And then that's where you get your main severe weather threat. Large hail, damaging winds, a few isolated tornadoes about 7 to 9 p.m. tomorrow. Gets more widespread, and that's going to be your damaging winds right on there. And so that's what we're tracking for Friday. Still tracking that slight risk, but I'm watching for maybe an enhanced risk possible in the next update, which is at 12:30. Still got that tornado potential for your Friday. Flood watch, 2 to 4 inches of rain possible just through tomorrow morning. I would not be surprised. Localized spots, we'll see more. Check it out. All the way through about Friday night, you can see rain total estimates could be 5 to 7 inches in some spots. Beatrice, they just had that thunderstorm. They look to be drying up. We got rain out there currently off towards downtown, 74, dew point of 65. We're the warmer spot right over here towards eastern Nebraska where the storms will be. Dew points, very nice. And we got that rain out there. The rain will start to peak here right now and then going into about 3 all the way through 7. Temperature-wise, upper 70s. All right, 7-day forecast, storms likely tomorrow, and then we chill out. And we do have some more chances, I would say, Sunday night into Monday, and then we get hot.
All right, thank you very much, Houston. This morning, we're letting you know about a construction project that will last most of this summer. You're taking a look here at South 84th Street. You can see the stretch between Van Dorn and South is pretty busy right now as it's a private paving project. It's not expected to be completely opened up again until the end of July. New details, firefighters in Holt County getting the chance to battle the real thing. The Chambers Volunteer Fire Departments taking part in a live house fire training with Nebraska State Fire Marshal Training Division. Firefighters working through realistic scenarios, including fire attacks, search and rescue operations, and ventilation techniques. Officials say the hands-on training helps prepare crews for the extreme conditions they can face during actual house fires, where temperatures can exceed 600 degrees. Coming up this morning, a stunning upset in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. How the Knicks were able to pull it out next.
Tough.
The first game from the Spurs. ABC's Sophie Flay breaks it down for us.
Lead changes.
After trailing by 14, Knicks have retaken the lead.
Injury scares.
Brunson's holding his knee right now.
And a fan on the court.
A fan just ran on the floor.
Game 1 had a little of everything. Spurs superstar 7'4" Victor Wembanyama leading the youngest team to reach a finals in nearly 50 years. Praying with the Spurs sisters, the nuns who have been a big part of their playoff run. It was a close battle in the first half. Timothy Chalamet and Ben Stiller among Knicks fans holding their breath as star Jalen Brunson suffered not one, but 2 injuries. First his knee, then his ankle.
There you see that ankle turning in. Luke Cornett steps on it.
He would stay in the game, but in the second half, it was all Spurs.
Came in, spins against Bridges, spins again, leans in, shot, got it.
San Antonio going up by 14 halfway through the third, but the Knicks closing the gap. The score tied at the start of the fourth quarter. The man who goes by Captain Clutch taking over. Brunson scoring 13 of his 30 points in the fourth. Interrupted by a fan storming the court for a selfie.
Security quickly takes him away.
And Wembanyama leading a small comeback.
Wemby with the three, nails it.
But the Knicks put them away for good.
Puts it in. Jalen Brunson does it again.
It's their 12th win in a row. Their first in a finals in 27 years. Wembanyama unable to hide his disappointment after making only 28% of his shots.
I'm going to figure it out. It's, yeah, I mean, I was bad tonight. It's not more complicated than that.
Knicks fan back in New York going wild.
3 more, baby! New York, baby! That's right.
Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Game 2 set for tomorrow night right here on Channel 8. The Spurs looking to even the series, while the Knicks hope for a 2-0 series lead heading back to New York. Tip-off is set for 7:30 right here on Lincoln's own ABC. So much more to come here this midday, including a dangerous plot foiled. How authorities were able to stop a possible catastrophe in the air after a man tried to smuggle an explosive device through an airport security. Stick with us, everyone.
News source. This is Channel 8 News Midday.
Welcome back, everyone. If you're just joining us, we're keeping an eye on a severe weather alert over the next couple of days. Right now, though, it's just kind of wet a little bit out there. We got a shower storm just coming through, but this is not the severe weather we're talking about here. This is our Honda Lincoln camera right now. Let's get to meteorologist Houston All here. Houston, when can we expect to be a little bit more weather aware today?
Definitely become weather aware around 1:30 to 2:30. That's when we'll start to see some more of that instability, and storms will be able to tap into that. Now, here's Beatrice. They actually just saw a thunderstorm. This is the only thunderstorm currently out there as it moves into some more stable atmosphere as it moves towards the north. That will sort of weaken. As we take a look in southeast Nebraska, you can see out towards Concordia, there's those thunderstorms. Those are going to continue to make their way towards the northeast. Oh, and if I didn't mention, Lincoln is getting some rain right now. All right, here's right now. Not too bad on the placement with this model. As we go into about 2:30, here's what it could look like. A few stronger storms out there. Some could have hail and some gusty winds. As we go later into the afternoon, about 3:30 to 4:30, much of southeast Nebraska is going to be seeing some heavy rain and some storms, quarter-size hail, and some gusty winds. Now, there is going to be a tornado potential, which will start right around 5:30 to 6:30 across southeast Nebraska. Lincoln, I would say we start to see those storms here 3, and then they will continue all the way through about 7. There's your tornado threat stretching from about east of Beatrice, and then places like Fall City and Pawnee City going through about 9. All right, temperature-wise, 60s and 70s. We got that moisture, you best believe that. And the winds are pretty light right now. And here's a look at precipitation chances. In Lincoln, you can see they just start to peak right there. I would say still 3 to 7 p.m. expect those rain showers and thunderstorms. Tracking severe weather even worse tomorrow. Show you all that here in a few.
Very much, Houston. Developing now, authorities preventing a possible catastrophe at the airport in Sacramento. Officials say they arrested a man who tried to get through a TSA checkpoint with an explosive device in his carry-on. Now they're looking more into the suspect and a possible motive. ABC's Rena Roy reports.
A
A security scare at Sacramento's airport could have had a much different outcome. Authorities say a suspect showed up at a TSA checkpoint Saturday around 9 p.m., wearing a scarf over his face and latex gloves. And officials say inside his carry-on bag was this M-type explosive device, a torch lighter, as well as knife scissors, more blades, and zip ties. According to the TSA, if the explosive device had detonated next to a window on a plane flying above 10,000 feet, it could have caused a loss of cabin pressure.
Sitting in that seat, it's going to cause significant damage to him. Possibly the passenger sitting next to him could crack or even blow out that window.
The suspect identified as 49-year-old Kamani Jones. The FBI saying he has a history of paranoia, allegedly complaining of being under surveillance. The Bureau says he allegedly called the FBI tip line 13 times this year to report, quote, nonsensical threats, including the day of the incident.
Now, Jones was taken into custody before boarding a flight to Charlotte, North Carolina. If convicted, he faces 5 years in prison. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
New details now. Omaha police releasing new information about a deadly standoff. This is an armored SWAT vehicle used to protect officers during high-risk situations. They used it when a man refused to leave a home after being evicted. Here you can see the man peering through his window with a rifle in hand. Police say a 55-year-old Matthew Strain opened fire on the tactical vehicle using this rifle with a large capacity magazine. 4 SWAT officers returned fire and Strain was killed. Police say some of the shots he fired hit the armored SWAT vehicle. Those are the areas circled in the red. Police also releasing these photos showing a large stockpile of firearms and ammunition found in the home. There was a separate officer-involved shooting last week in Sarpy County on the House floor this week. Congressman Mike Flood praising law enforcement for their quick action.
I rise to recognize the heroes of Nebraska law enforcement. Because of their bravery, everybody went home safe. Their courage is a testament to the sacrifice law enforcement officers make every day they put on the uniform. I'm proud to back the blue, and I thank those serving in law enforcement for keeping us safe.
That officer-involved shooting in Papillion involved a suspect opening fire in a Home Depot parking lot. Officers returning fire, killing him. No one else was hurt. Right now, a busy time of the year, beginning with trade work. We're talking about electricians, plumbers, contractors, and other in the trade industry. R.J. Coleman is learning more as this field is widening its grasp.
I think it's starting to come back a little bit with changing of the workforce.
Trade work is steadily booming. At least the numbers say so. Southeast Community College, they've seen growth in their advanced technology and trades programs, the biggest jump being from the fall of 2023 to the fall of 2025, with 192 more enrollees, nearly a 10% rise. Green's Furnace and Plumbing says that's due to a couple of things, one of them being the industry becoming more reliable.
Always going to be that potential for growth. If you're able to work through 2 or 3 years, you can see quite a bit of promise in it.
And the other, income, stating a substantial increase.
Income. The incomes have been really good. The incomes have grown quite a bit in this industry. People being able to see, driving by a building and seeing, man, I helped build that building, or having that sense of accomplishment. I think it's helped the younger guys have a sense of accomplishment in their careers.
Southeast Community College also stating that due to the growth in enrollment, they have built new facility, stated in part, quote, SCC broke ground on 3 major facilities this spring to address the demands of enrollment growth and industry needs for a skilled workforce. Reported in Lincoln, Jay Coleman, Channel 8 News.
Happening today, the city of Lincoln is giving the community a chance to see how the city works below ground. Conservation Nebraska hosted a tour at 1 o'clock today through Lincoln's water treatment. Now, the tour is designed to teach people on how new technology is being used to recycle our waste into fertilizer, as well as how their water purifies water in our pipes so it can be reused down the road. The event is free, but registration is required. Spots are filling up. Only on 8's a group of Nebraska veterans taking to the skies. 8 veterans that currently live in nursing homes getting a ride that won't soon forget on a World War II era plane. And this morning, we're there as they relive those memories. For many, the veterans, it's not just about flying. It's about reconnecting with a part of themselves. Channel 8's Emma Norwood brings us their reactions.
As those 8 Nebraska veterans step in and out of the plane today, their smiles are impossible to miss. This is creating lasting moments for both their families and proving that it's not too late for one more adventure. One by one, veterans suiting up and hitching a ride in the sky.
We're just saying thank you for the sacrifice, for their service. I mean, they gave us our freedom.
Nebraska Healthcare Association teaming up with Dream Flights, giving 8 retired Nebraskan service members the chance of a lifetime. Like 100-year-old Ted Monroe Mills, who fought for our country during World War II.
Cars looked like ants going down the road, and saw the Capitol, and it was a great flight. It was awful windy, but I'd do it again.
A free ride in a World War II era Boeing Stearman biplane, symbolizing the sacrifice they made for all of us.
I just have to pinch myself to say I get to do this, because I get to hang out with people like Ted and Clayton, who have done so much for me, and now I'm getting a chance to do a little something for them at a point in their life when they're not thinking about flying in open cockpit biplanes. And so they come alive, their families come alive, and it's just such an emotional thing.
As families cheer on their loved ones and greet them with signs and a smile. Clayton West, a Korean War veteran, throwing his hands in the air as he got off the plane.
It was wonderful. It was a good flight. I enjoyed it. Everything went well. I'm so happy for all those who participated to make this all this possible. We're grateful to all of those involved.
When Clayton got off that plane and his smile, it is priceless. It was unbelievably emotional, and just to see, they said that Clayton is a very quiet guy, and he didn't look quiet, so his smile sold everything.
Some of them even signing their names on the end of the plane, an experience they'll never forget. The veterans whose signatures are now on the tail end of the plane will represent their lasting legacy for many years to come. Reporting here in Lincoln, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
Coming up after the break, UNL is helping sustain Nebraska's natural canopy. See how they're tackling a growing problem of tree loss across the state. Forests. Faculty, students, and partner organizations like Plant Nebraska and the Nebraska Forest Service are helping communities tackle a growing problem, tree loss. To help communities prepare, they're working to identify at-risk trees, remove the diseased, and plant new species less vulnerable to pests like the emerald ash borer. School officials say the effort has already helped plant thousands of trees across Nebraska.
Now, for your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
Here's a look over downtown. Yeah, it looks a little less visible, sort of. That's due to some rain showers across the area. And I guess maybe get used to the sight of some rain. We're going to be having it really through the rest of this afternoon and going into the evening. Ends around 8 p.m. 74, we got a dew point of 65, ABC Seamless Cam. That's pretty empty out there, but some rain starting to fall. Now, no thunder. It's 74 degrees. Once again, how about that? There's the little thunderstorm just right there. Just went towards Beatrice. That's all moving towards the northeast. Currently watching these little storms out towards Concordia. That's going to take a track towards the northeast, and that's headed our way. So if you're from about Fairbury off towards the east, you do have the best chance for a few strong to severe storms as we go into this afternoon. There's that one little thunderstorm continuing its strength. Maybe a little bit of pea-sized hail within that, but still, we need some more instability to build on up. Here's the instability, okay? Notice from about Fairbury, and then you draw a line like this. That's going to be your best chance for a few stronger to severe storms. As you can see, that blue right there starting to increase, and a few little thunderstorms trying to get up right about there. Let's take a look, and we do have that tornado potential. They have not, they just upgraded this graphic. Still, no changes. So we're watching southeast Nebraska from about Beatrice off towards the east for an isolated tornado or two as we go into this evening. All right, model's doing good. As we go into the next several hours, there's those storms from Concordia out there. That will most likely be a little further east, though. We'll still be seeing some showers, a thunderstorm. As we go into about 2 to 3 p.m., that's when those things will start to pick on up, intensify out here towards just the east of Lincoln. And then right there, out towards Hebron and Fairbury. That's all going to be some hail, some damaging winds, and some heavy rainfall. There's going to be some flooding across parts of southeast Nebraska through tonight. Be aware of that. Here's 3 to 4 p.m. Beatrice, most likely going to be seeing some strong to severe storms. Lincoln, I would say we do have a good chance for a few strong to severe storms as we go into about 3 to 5 p.m. You can see all this pink right here. That's going to be some winds and hail. Now here's where that tornado potential will begin. About 5:30 to 6, a line of showers and storms. You get these little tail end ones. You got to watch out for those as they move towards the east. Right about there, Tecumseh, Falls City, Pawnee City. I would say be aware of that. 6 to 9 p.m. All moves out by 10 p.m. Friday, we're looking at mostly sunny skies. All right, so whatever happens today will affect tomorrow, and how much cloud cover we see through the morning and afternoon will also affect. Notice this model is showing, okay, storms will develop out towards Columbus, but notice what happens. Lincoln looks to stay dry the whole time. Storms will look to be maybe further off towards the east. Here's our other model, all right? So here's those storms this afternoon moving towards the east. There's your wind and tornado threat out by tonight, all right? Sunshine right about there. That's your lunchtime. We get sunshine, builds instability. Could have some storms as early as about 5 to 7 p.m. out towards the Tri-Cities. Those will intensify rather quickly as they move towards the east-northeast about 8 p.m. there. And then that's where our really severe weather will begin. Large hail, damaging winds, even a few isolated tornadoes down here. I would say just southeast of Hastings. Now that will all look to continue maybe into the overnight hours, but some models are not agreeing, so we still have that slight risk. Watching for an enhanced risk to be issued here maybe in the next hour by that next update. Small tornado potential. 2 to 4 inches of rain possible through tomorrow morning. Flood watch is in effect for southeast Nebraska. Look at all the rainfall totals. We're seeing some estimates, these darker reds, 6 to 8 inches of rainfall. So those thunderstorms, don't underestimate them. They will have quite a bit of rain as we've been getting lots of reports this morning. 60s and 70s right now, dew points right there in the upper 60s. Another look at satellite and radar, just that one thunderstorm. We'll start to see some coverage increase here in the next few hours. All right, precipitation here in Lincoln, I would say best chance 3 to 7 p.m. for those stronger severe storms. And then temperatures not doing much today. Saturday, try to get out and enjoy that day after all of this weather moves on past us. I think Monday might be our other best chance for some storms, but then we get hot.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. Happening today, the first day of nonstop flights for American Airlines in the capital city. Starting today, you can get a nonstop flight straight to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago through the airline. This is a big deal for Lincoln's Airport, which now has 3 airlines to fly out of. You can book your tickets right now. We have a link up at KLKNTV.com. Still ahead, no way. The shortage that's halting a popular social media fad right now, and why there's no signs of it slowing down. supplements is being used and add protein to all kinds of foods. Because of that, it is now in short supply. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze explains.
This morning, whey protein is in short supply.
What happens if you steam protein powder into your milk for a latte?
The whey protein craze going viral on social media.
Now you have a yummy chocolate protein coffee.
Fueled by celebrities like Hailey Bieber and Khloe Kardashian.
I mean, this is exciting, guys.
And surging demand from people taking GLP-1 weight loss drugs.
People who are thinking about longevity and protecting lean body mass as well as skeletal mass, like they want to have this type of protein.
Whey is a byproduct of cheese, made during the process when cheese is separated into solid curds.
The whey is the liquid portion that gets left behind. Then it's freeze-dried or dried, and then that's the protein that gets added to foods and supplements.
People are packing the supplement into everything from coffee to smoothies to pizza to meet their protein goals.
We're seeing whey prop up in protein pancakes. We're seeing it in protein powders. We're seeing it in capsule form, in pastas, in pizzas, in breads.
Pretty much in everything.
It's in everything.
Now the Department of Agriculture is warning the supply of whey isn't keeping up with demand, saying certain suppliers are sold out for the remainder of the year.
We are seeing a complete consumer demand for protein in general, but we are also seeing ostensibly a run on whey protein.
The cost retailers pay for some common types of whey protein has already spiked 83% over 2 years, and shortages could mean higher prices for consumers too.
I would start thinking about what it would cost you if that price were to go up in the next couple months.
Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
Still ahead, the hurricane helper, how this musician is giving back to those impacted by hurricanes, embracing for the potential for more danger this season. Fatality even more south. Here's ABC's Danny New.
I brought you some instruments.
Yeah. As hurricane season officially begins this week, we are reconnecting with the musician I introduced you to last year named Nicholas Williams.
You're the first person to get an instrument.
Really?
Yeah.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, the Tennessee native started a nonprofit called Restring Appalachia with the goal of replacing the instruments so many musicians lost in the devastating floods.
And it is just such a huge honor to be any kind of part of that rebuilding process for us.
Since then, Restring Appalachia has donated hundreds of guitars, violins, and more to musicians in need all over the country. However, a few weeks ago,
This is nice.
the group also expanded internationally.
Here we are. It's 6:15, heading to Jamaica right now.
While teaming up with the Bob Marley Foundation, Nicholas traveled to Jamaica to bring instruments to the victims of Hurricane Melissa, the Category 5 storm that made landfall there last October.
We looked at a bunch of stats and talked to a bunch of people on the ground, and about a third of the country was affected. But of that third, 30% were like working, gigging musicians. Enjoy it, man. I'm happy to help.
The team was able to donate almost 100 instruments and pieces of musical equipment.
That's the sea right there, and we live right here.
While meeting artists like Carlton here, who says his house and instruments were engulfed by a wall of water.
My son tell me about this place, and I said, no, it's not real.
He said he told you about Restring Appalachia?
Yeah.
Get out.
And since Nicholas left,
Just like common people like you and me, we'll be builders for eternity.
he says he has continued to receive messages from folks in Jamaica with clips of the music they are now recording with their new instruments.
It's really, it's very moving still.
And with the efforts in Jamaica, Nicholas said Restring Appalachia actually surpassed 1,000 instruments donated total, with more than $350,000 raised to help musicians with even more resources. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Before we go to break, it's just kind of a cloudy, gloomy day out there right now. Got a chance for severe weather here the next couple of days. We're going to have a final check of the forecast coming up with Houston Hall next.
Meet Lincoln's deal detectives at Salvage Warehouse. They're uncovering huge new savings every day. Discover up to 70% off retail on furniture and appliances all over the store.
The deals are real at Salvage Warehouse. Yeah!
Being a chief meteorologist isn't just a job, it's a passion. I care about every storm, every forecast, because this community matters to me. I've spent decades tracking Nebraska weather, and now I'm proud to be Lincoln's longest-serving chief meteorologist. This community has trusted me through snowstorms, heat waves, and everything in between, like the top 10 days. Every forecast and every storm, my goal is simple, to keep you safe, because this is my community too. I'm Rusty Dawkins, Chief Meteorologist for Channel 8, and I'm not going anywhere.
Do you yearn for connection? Are you in need of encouragement, hope? For over 40 years, my dad, Pastor Harold E. Salem, and the Christian Worship Hour have provided that beacon, a bright, shining light guiding those who are lost and alone into God's everlasting love. Though my dad is in heaven, his timeless messages live on. To experience profound power and life-changing biblical teachings, join Pastor Salem this weekend.
If you've been in a car crash and you think you can trust insurance companies, pigs will fly. Insurance companies make billions of dollars by denying money to injured people. Don't blindly trust the insurance companies. You need an expert on your side. At Friedman Law, it's our job to look out for your best interests and make sure you're fairly compensated for your injuries. Call us or chat online today. No obligation, just information. Call Friedman Law, 402-476-1093.
Looking for the best deals in Lincoln? Tag, you're it. Run in now for furniture and appliance deals up to 70% off. 3, 2, 1. Save. The countdown is on for great deals this year at Salvage Warehouse.
Tonight, a big one on ABC. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. The Vegas Golden Knights taking Game 1 in the series in dramatic fashion, rallying from a 2-goal deficit in the first period. Hurricanes are hoping to rekindle some of that magic from the home crowd tonight. It all gets underway at 7 o'clock right here on Channel 8. Make sure to tune in after the game for highlights as well. We're also going to have the latest on the severe weather threat, not only that happened today, but also tomorrow. So, Houston, what can you tell us right now?
Yeah, I'm in for a busy next 48 hours, to say nothing less. Yes, here in the next few hours, we'll start to see some strong to severe storms. Right now, we only got a thunderstorm. You can see the instability overlay if you're in that blue. Better chance for thunderstorms just south of Beatrice. You see those little bubblers. Well, you give those a few hours or two. Oh, that's not it. Give those a few hours or two. They're going to start to get some hail and some gusty winds. There's about 1 to 2. There's 2 to 3, and then really the severe weather will start to pick up. I think maybe a little earlier. I would say 3 to 4 p.m. Most of us, even Lincoln, will start to see some strong to severe storms with that hail and gusty wind threat. The tornado threat is going to stay around Beatrice and off towards the east, talking about Tecumseh, Falls City, and Pawnee City for an isolated tornado or two. Other than that, we're still tracking some severe weather into tomorrow. We'll get that next update here in about 30 minutes, so I'll keep you up to date on the Now Local News app and our website and my page.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. Dominic will be in later to keep you updated as well. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. GMA 3 is coming up next. Have a great rest of your Thursday.
Come see us at our new South Point location. Locally owned Comfort Made Mattress Factory, handcrafted, built right here, and backed with a lifetime comfort guarantee.
Let your voice be heard by sharing your photos and videos to the Now Local News app. Earn points and redeem them for gift cards. Scan the QR code to join.
Welcome to Comfort Made Mattress Factory's new location at South Point. Every mattress is built right here just for you. Any size, any shape, any comfort level, and backed with our lifetime comfort guarantee. We'll come to your home and adjust your mattress, firmer, softer, or anything in between. Right now, save $100 off, free mattress protector, and free delivery. Come see us, Comfort Made Mattress Factory next to Shields, and let us build your perfect night's sleep.
All at once, the whole state knows it's time. Every seat is filled, every screen is on, everyone's watching. Even when it's quiet, it's all you can hear. We built this together, a tradition that connects us. Families united across Nebraska, across generations. And Allo is proud to be part of it. What we've built is a legacy, and we're just getting started.
Your morning forecast with Houston Hall at 5, 6, and 11 a.m.
It's time for GMA 3, the search for Lynette Hooker, 2 months after she disappeared in the Bahamas, why the U.S. Coast Guard is expanding the search, and what her daughter is now saying. No way.
Can I have a yummy chocolate protein coffee?
It's the popular supplement being added to everything from coffee to pancakes to popcorn.
I mean, this is exciting.
To fuel the protein craze, but now it's in short supply. What else you can use to meet your protein goals? Consider us impressed. Shania Twain getting the biopic treatment. What we know about the movie and how the Grammy winner is getting involved. Okay. It's time for GMA 3. That don't impress me. She impresses us. I know that. Hello, everyone. I'm Rhiannon Alley.
And I'm Rebecca Jarvis here with Morgan Norwood. And you could be a Knicks fan. You could be a Spurs fan. You can like coloring with crayons. We're here for you on this Thursday. Everyone is welcome.
I feel a little left out. I should have worn my blue.
You're part of the crayons.
I'm part of the crew. You know, the crayons. Love it. Good to be with you guys and a lot to talk about this afternoon, including Princess Kate, who just met with some cancer patients undergoing chemotherapy. We'll tell you what she said to them about her own cancer journey. That's coming up.
Yes, we also have Deals and Steals with more summer fun. Tori Johnson has us covered as always. Perfect products for on the go, for snacks to personal cabana maybe, and much more.
And it's starting to feel like summer, so now's the time. But we begin with the new search for Lynette Hooker, the American woman whose husband said she went overboard in the Bahamas. U.S. Coast Guard dive teams are exploring previously unsearched areas, and Victor Akendo is in the Bahamas. Victor, hello.
Hey, Rebecca, it has now been 2 months since Lynette Hooker was last seen leaving this dock. Members of the U.S. Coast Guard now getting ready to head out and search those new areas where Brian Hooker's device is pinged. And we're also hearing from Lynette's daughter. She is still holding out hope. U.S. officials zeroing in on new areas in the search for Lynette Hooker, the missing American whose husband says fell off their dinghy in the Bahamas. The 55-year-old mother has been missing since April 4th. The U.S. Coast Guard dive team on the water and the beach of an area called Snake Creek. Just a quarter mile from the boatyard Brian Hooker says he paddled to the night Lynette went missing. The search resuming after U.S. officials tell ABC News GPS data from the boat Lynette and Brian were on appears to contradict his account of his whereabouts the night she disappeared. You can see members of the U.S. Coast Guard behind us in that orange boat. This is one of those areas that had not been previously searched. It's called Lubber's Key, and it's only about 2 minutes away from where the Hooker sailboat, the Soulmate, was anchored. Lynette's daughter, Carly Aylesworth, says she's hopeful the new developments point investigators in the right direction.
Well, I'm happy they were able to get Brian's location and discover new areas to look. I'm just happy that They were able to find answers that were concrete proof of what happened and doing what they can to search for my mom.
Brian telling authorities the couple encountered bad weather while riding their dinghy to their sailboat off Elbow Key. He claims Lynette fell overboard along with the boat keys. Brian Hooker taken into custody days after his wife disappeared, held by authorities for 5 days, but they let him go without charges. Carly says that she has not spoken with Brian since the day after her mother went missing. The Coast Guard, the Bahamian Defense Force, and Royal Bahamian Police Force will all continue the search today. Guys.
Oh, we certainly hope they find her. Thank you so much, Victor, for that. We're going to turn now. Let's talk basketball. The NBA Finals. The Knicks stealing Game 1 from the Spurs on the road in San Antonio. Will Reeve was there last night. He joins us now with the biggest moments. Will, certainly not the outcome Spurs fans in the building were hoping for, but wow, Knicks fans are happy.
They sure are. That's the tale of two cities right here in San Antonio. It was decked out in this Technicolor fever dream. The NBA Finals back here in San Antonio for the first time in over a decade, but there was plenty of orange and blue as well. Knicks fans traveling en masse down here to San Antonio to cheer on their team. I mean, this Finals, it's been 27 years in the making, right? The rematch between the Spurs and the Knicks. They last played in 1999, and the two superstars, Jalen Brunson on the Knicks, Victor Wembanyama on the Spurs, wasted no time showing off their skills. The Knicks won the opening tip. Jalen Brunson came down, nailed a three-pointer. Wemby gets the ball back. He hits a jump shot, and they were off to the races. It was a hard-fought game the whole time, except Brunson and Wemby didn't quite have their shots. Wemby only made 6 of his 21 field goal attempts, and Brunson, for his part, early in the game, in the first quarter, he got injured. He appeared to tweak his knee. He limped off to the locker room.